Washington from Decide DeKalb Development Authority, and what an absolute pleasure to have each and every one of you join us. We are so grateful here at Decide DeKalb to have you all take this hour out of your very busy schedule. Without further ado, I am actually going to say that as the Vice President of Marketing and Communications, we have really been working diligently and expeditiously on getting this Decide DeKalb Small Business Revolving Loan Fund and Technical Assistance Program up. And we are very, very delighted to share with you the details of what that entails. And so please get your pen and paper ready, but we're also going to be sharing all of this really great information afterwards. And so please check your email for more information. But at this time, it is my pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Jeffrey Lofton, also with Decide DeKalb. And Jeffrey is going to give you a brief overview and just introduce himself to you all. And then we're going to get started with today's presentation. Thank you all again for joining us. We are really grateful to have you.
All right. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Again, thank you all so much for being here. Again, my name is Jeffrey Lofton, and I am the Equitable Economic Development Program Manager for Decide DeKalb Development Authority. And we are really excited, again, to launch this, our very first ever Decide DeKalb Revolving Loan Fund and Technical Assistance Program. And this is a, a program that's really meeting a direct need for our community as it relates to access to capital. And so we're really excited to be able to deliver this to the businesses that are located here in DeKalb County. Of course, want to, of course, give thanks again, of course, to our president, Dorian DeBar, but also to the DeKalb County Board of Commissioners, who a couple of years ago actually saw this need and really worked with us to be able to deploy these funds for this purpose. So again, we want to make sure we thank them. And again, I want to just say welcome. We're looking forward to sharing this information. Please ask us your questions. And without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to our partner who we are working with to deliver this loan fund program. We're excited to pass this presentation along to Maurice Stewart, who runs the outsourced CFO group, who we are partnering with to deploy these funds. So I'll go ahead and pass it to him. Thank you all for being here this morning or this afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Maurice Stewart. I wanted to say welcome and thank you for joining us. Again, I'm Maurice Stewart, and I am the founder of Outsourced CFO Group and CredibilitySuite.com. And I couldn't be more excited to have the rising number of participants to be here with us today. We're at 70 now, and we're nearing. We had over 200 people to RSVP, and it's comprised of over DeKalb County's most ambitious entrepreneurs, innovators, and change makers. We've got a full range of entrepreneurs present. So whether you're at early stage and dreaming up your first business idea, you have a company and you're looking to scale to the next level, or you're looking to reinvest in your community, you're in the right place. So today is about opportunity, real tangible opportunity, funding, and growth. And we all know that capital can be the spark that propels an idea into reality, but capital alone isn't enough. So you also need guidance, expertise, and a network that believes in you. And that's exactly why the DeKalb County Commission and the Decide DeKalb Development Authority created this small business revolving loan fund and technical assistance program. So we'll talk about what makes this program special. But to borrow Simon Sinek's mantra of start with why, I wanted to take a moment to explain why this program matters. Why does the program matter? It matters because small businesses are the backbone of our economy. They create jobs, they strengthen neighborhoods, and they fuel innovation. And so when one of us succeeds, we all succeed. And the ripple effect of that can transform our entire community in DeKalb and beyond. So today, we're not just sharing information, we're looking to transform our community. Over the next hour, I want to walk you through how to apply for the Decide DeKalb Small Business Revolving Loan Fund, what to expect, and how to tap into the resources that we've cultivated just for you. So let's seize this moment together. Let's build, innovate, and uplift the DeKalb community. We have a lot of people on today, so I'd like to encourage everyone to put their questions in the chat, and we will address them at the conclusion of the presentation. So let's dive in. About Decide to Cap. So what is Decide to Cap? The Decide to Cap Development Authority is the economic development organization that works on behalf of DeKalb County. And the mission is to nourish our communities through opportunities and partnerships that foster growth, equity, and innovation. And Decide to Cap and their work, they help out all of DeKalb County and all the unincorporated, as well as the 13 cities that are a part of DeKalb County. This particular program. So what do we mean when we say revolving loan fund? Well, in December of 2023, the DeKalb County Board of Commissioners allocated $2.5 million to this program. And it's comprised of two different components. One component is the revolving loan fund, and the other component is technical assistance. What is a revolving loan fund? It's basically a pool of capital that is used to make loans to borrowers, typically small business owners like yourselves, and then that's replenished as the loans are repaid. So this allows for the initial funding to be sustainable and continuously reused for future lending. So it has two purposes. You can reuse the capital. It's used to support economic development. So an example of that is, in this situation, the DeKalb County Commission has set up a $2.5 million fund. This revolving loan fund will support DeKalb small businesses. So let's say a bakery gets a loan for $50,000 to expand. They make their payments on time over a 5-year period. As those payments from the bakery come in, the fund has new capital to lend to a barbershop to expand. And then they've started making on-time payments, and those payments are used to help a catering company, and so on and so forth. So we're revolving continuously to benefit the community. The other component is technical assistance, and technical assistance is it's like coaching or mentoring and providing business owners advice on different aspects of their business, like help with accounting or budgeting or marketing or human resources. It is a note that the Decide to Cap revolving loan fund and technical assistance program is a loan program. So the funds dispersed will be loans that borrowers are expected to repay. And the process, there are no guarantees of funding going through the process. As a snapshot of the fund, we'll be providing loans to DeKalb County businesses in the amounts of $50,000 at a minimum and $150,000 at a maximum, at a fixed rate of 5%. The term for these loans will be up to 7 years, and they'll be aligned with the lease for your business. You'll be required to make monthly payments of principal and interest, and there will be an application fee of up to $100 at the closing, and that will be taken out of the proceeds for the loan. So who is eligible for the actual loan itself, or the loan program? You have to be a for-profit business. So we are, in this particular fund, we're not doing funds or loans for nonprofits or churches or individuals. You have to have been in business for at least 2 years or 24 months. You have to have a business that is licensed and located in DeKalb County or one of its municipalities. So I think there's 13 municipalities that have separate licensing for businesses in DeKalb. So as long as you have a business license for DeKalb County or one of those municipalities, you're eligible. We are not doing home-based businesses in this fund. So you have to have a retail or office location, industrial location. You have to have a business location. We're looking for applicants with a credit score of at least 600, and we will be excluding businesses that involve gambling or liquor or adult businesses. And lastly, if your business has, local or state or federal taxes due or liens, we won't be able to provide those for businesses with outstanding payments due. What can the funds be used for? So there's a range of opportunities and ways that you can utilize the funds. If you want to renovate your business, you want to change it around, you want to do a build out or add a new location. If you're looking to purchase equipment or fixed assets for your businesses to build your widgets, it could be used for inventory. So if you're looking to just buy inventory for your business to resell, you can use the funds for that, as well as working capital. And working capital is really money that's used for payroll or marketing or other ongoing expenses. And lastly, just for your business expansion. So if you have a business and you're looking to open a new location, you can use the funds for that as well. So there's a full range of opportunities or ways that you can utilize the funds of this loan, and they can help to grow your business. The application process starts with completion of the eligibility questionnaire online. So we'll put the exact link in the chat, but you can go to the Decide to Cap website. Once you go to the Decide to Cap website, it will redirect you to another site for our loan program, and which you will then complete this questionnaire, and we will decide, based off your questionnaire responses, we will know if you're eligible to apply for the loan. Once you are approved to apply for the loan, then you will upload those documents to a secure portal. It's very secure. And then those documents, once you've uploaded all of the required documents, they'll be forwarded over to us, and our team will begin the underwriting review. After our team reviews the underwriting of your loan, and in this stage, I want to take a second to kind of point out we're really your advocates, the outsourced CFO team, which is myself and Lonnie Sabur, who is a 45-year plus veteran in the business, with working with community and economic development, providing loans. Lonnie is a legend. We're going to work as advocates to help make sure that your loan is pulled together with a full package, and then we will then present your package to the loan approval committee, which is comprised of local bankers and technical assistance providers and professionals in the community. If the loan approval committee decides to approve the loan, then the funds will be dispersed at that point. So what are the required application documents? We've got a few areas that we need. So one thing we need to understand is we need verification that you have a legitimate business that's operating in DeKalb County. So we'll ask for your articles of incorporation. We'll ask for your business license and your EIN or tax ID certificate. We also want to get an idea of how the business has been performing over the past few years. So we'll ask for the business tax returns, a balance sheet, a profit and loss statement, also known as an income statement. We'll ask for accounts receivable aging report and an accounts payable aging report. And this lets us know what type of revenue that you have coming in that you haven't collected yet, and what type of bills do you have that have not been paid yet. And we'll also ask for a debt schedule, which lets us know all of the outstanding debt that you have for your business. We'll ask for some information on you and your person, the owners. So the owner's personal tax returns for the previous 2 years. We'll ask for your government ID, a personal financial statement, and a resume for yourself. And then we'll also ask for what we want to get an understanding of where the business is going. So we'll ask for a business plan, your 12-month cash flow projections, your 2-year financial projections, and a sources and uses of funds statement. And so we have our team available to help you out. We also have partners available to help you out with the applications. I know that some of these may or may not be available. You may not have them readily available. And so we'll be there to help you out with that. So what is just a sample, what is the sources and uses of funds statement? It's really just to say, hey, I'm looking for a certain amount of money for a project. So you may say, I'm looking for $150,000 to, I need $150,000 to build out my business and grow. So the sources is going to be, you may say, I want $125,000 from the Decide to Cab Small Biz Loan Fund, and I'm going to put in 25,000 of my own money. You don't have to. That's not a requirement. This is just a sample for illustrative purposes. And then what are you going to use that, $150,000 for? Well, I'm going to spend $60,000 to renovate my business. I'm going to need $30,000 for equipment once we get operating in that location. We're going to need $50,000 for working capital, and we may need another $10,000 for professional fees. I may want to hire, a lawyer or a consultant. So, that's kind of an example of your source of uses of funds statement. Uh, the personal financial statement really just provides an overview of the persons and the individual's financial position. So it highlights your assets and liabilities, and it really helps us to understand where you are from a financial health perspective and where you're going from a future planning goals and strategies perspective. So here is a sample personal financial statement. So unlike other instruments in finance, they don't necessarily have to tie, your assets are your assets and your liabilities are your liabilities. So after you submit and upload the initial set of documents, that's when we will start to really work with you to help come up with the best package and the best application for your loan to give you the best shot at getting your loan approved by the loan approval committee. So we will come back and say, hey, thanks for your application, Miss Business Owner. We're probably going to need a few more documents to understand what's going on with your business. So that may include, some additional tax returns for your business or person. It may include, depending on what you're doing. If you're looking to do a build out, we'll ask for, an estimate from your contractor or from two contractors to say, hey, this is what it's going to cost. This is what's entailed in the build out. And a range of other documents that we may ask for is going to depend on what you're looking for funding for. But this is kind of a list of documents that we may be asking for as we're trying to go through and come up with the best package to present to the loan approval committee. Will the loans have collateral and credit review? The short answer is yes. So we will be requiring a personal guarantee as well as a business guarantee for the loan itself. This may include just a collateralization of the inventory that's being purchased or the property or some type of insurance policy to cover it in case of non-payment. And then we'll also be doing a credit review if it goes to the loan approval committee. So upon the initial questionnaire and submittal of documents, we will not be doing a credit check. But once it goes to the loan approval committee, we will be doing a soft credit pull at that point. And then if the loan is approved, then there will be a hard credit pull. But going into the loan approval committee, there will be a soft credit pull at that point. What is technical assistance? Technical assistance, again, it's like coaching for your business. So for the eligible applicants, we will be providing assistance, before, during, and after the loan approval process, application process, to help you package your loan. So that maybe help just kind of pulling together your documentation. It may just be general assistance or coaching. So we'll work with you to, talk about the strategy for your business and things that you can do to improve your business and help present some ideas. And then for the applicants who are able to have a loan approved, we want to be able to be a source of success for you and your business to make sure that you have success going forward. Because what we really want to do is want to build an enterprise that is thriving and is going to help build your business and the community around it. We won't be doing this alone. We'll be working with a range of organizations to help us with your application and to make sure that you have the coaching available. And this is for everyone who's applying for the business. We want to make sure that, even if you are not initially approved for a loan, we want to make sure that we're here as a resource to help you, point you in the right direction, help you out with your business. So we have technical assistance partners, and that will range just it could be all of them, or it could just be depending on your situation and what type of technical assistance you're looking for, we'll talk with you to make sure that you are pointed in the right direction to get the help that you need to help your business out and help it grow, as well as with the application. In addition to the technical assistance piece, we're also wanting to work with other partners to provide you capital. So some people may not need $50,000. They may need 10,000, or they may need $25,000. So if you go in, I would encourage you to go in, complete the questionnaire for your business. Go in, complete the questionnaire for your business so that we have your information available and we know what's going on. We want to schedule some time to work with you and point you in the right direction to make sure that if you're not going to be able to get funded through the DeKalb program, you do have other options available. And so we want to work with you to, or at least point you in the right direction to be able to obtain those. So again, the sample borrower journey, complete the eligibility questionnaire online. Link will be provided in the chat. Step 2 is once you complete the loan application and you're approved, we will then be we'll get funded, you'll get funded, and then we'll provide, post-loan support and business growth. And we want to make sure that we are, they say if it's not written, it's not real. So we want to, we want to be able to make sure that we're tracking the success over a period of time. So things that we're looking at for impact and accountability for our team and our work, we want to, make sure that we're tracking how many businesses are being served, how many jobs are being created or retained. Are you paying your loan on time? And other aspects. So the outcomes, and then we also want to be able to, have some success stories to be able to share with the public, just to kind of give some encouragement that we're all in this together. So we want to be able to share some success stories. So again, just getting started, you can go to Decide DeKalb. There's a place under like the small biz to fill out the questionnaire. You complete the introductory questionnaire. Once you complete that questionnaire, we can schedule some time to talk with somebody from our team, and then we'll get that document submission process started, and then we'll go into the entire process. So again, I want to say thank you for your attention and your time doing this presentation. We hope this has been insightful and beneficial. You can go to the website, decidedecalb.com with any questions, and we're looking forward to working with you to achieve great success. And so I guess now we'll kind of go in. Lastly, here's a way to schedule some time. You can, I'll make a calendar link available in the follow-up information. You can send us an email to info@businessinDeKalb.com. You can text us at the number that's included, or visit the website, and we will have more and more information on the program as we get closer to opening up the application portal. That information will be made available on an ongoing basis. So, I would say start with the questionnaire and get into the pool, and then we will be in constant communication after that. Now I think we can go. I'm going to stop sharing for a moment and open the floor to questions and that are in the chat first, and then I want to open it to questions that are in the chat. I'm not sure, Tara, if you want me to go through the questions that are in there, or do you want to kind of moderate the questions?
Sure, Maurice. I think one of the questions I think that really piqued our curiosity is from Watson. Watson says that his office is actually in College Park, but they service the entire state of Georgia with the government contracts, Medicaid, that sort of thing. And his question is, they are a vendor and have business license in several counties. Would they qualify?
So their business is headquartered in
College Park,
College Park, which is Fulton County.
correct?
I would say the business has to have a physical location or headquarters in DeKalb County.
Thank you. All right, just going back through some of these other really interesting questions. People are really asking some good ones, but I think some of them you've already touched upon. But there is a question that came through. This is from Val Alexander. She says, "Can you simply get technical assistance only?" And I think you answered that, but we'll answer that for you, Val.
So what we will do is we want to make sure that we're helping out everyone that is applying, that is going through and completing the questionnaire. So we want to be a resource for everyone. We will be working on our team for the people that are eligible. We'll be working with them directly. And we'll be working with some people who completed the questionnaire as well, but we're also working with our partners. They'll be working primarily with the partners. So if you're not eligible, we're primarily working with our partner organizations. So, go through, complete the questionnaire. We'll talk about your situation, and either we'll help you out internally, or we will point you to one of our partner organizations that are available to help you out and more specialized with it.
Awesome. Here's something very interesting. What is the time frame? This is from Takaya Ellis with AZS LLC. She's asking a time frame from the beginning to the end of the process. What are you anticipating for that, Maurice, in terms of a time frame?
It's a good question. I think the time frame really depends on our ability to work, with you to have a completed application with all of the documents that are being requested. And then we have to work together to put together a package for the loan approval committee that we feel confident with. So we want to make sure that when we present to the loan approval committee, that it is a strong application process. And I would say it's going to really depend on how long does it take to get all of your documents pulled together, and how long does it take for us to put together a complete package. That could be, a couple weeks, or it really just depends on how long it takes to get all of the documentation in and for us to put the package together.
All right, this is a tax question. So this person's taxes have not been completed for the past 2 years, but they're currently working with a certified public accountant. Even though they are working through the process, would they still be able to apply for the program?
They can they can begin the process, but they can't complete the process without their taxes being completed. So they can go in. I posted the link for the questionnaire into the chat. You can go in now and complete the questionnaire. If you're eligible to apply, then you can start to upload your documents, but we won't be able to start the process until all of the required documents have been submitted to the portal.
What is the required business structure, Maurice? LLC, LLP, corporation? Can you elaborate?
Yeah, so we'll be working with LLCs, C corps, S corps, LLPs. So it's flexible. You just have to have a actual business. It can't be it's not personal, and it's not a nonprofit.
All right.
So yeah, so not a sole proprietorship.
What if someone is or does have they've completed their taxes and they have filed, but they are currently on a payment plan with the IRS? Does that impact or impede them from applying for DeKalb Small Business Loan Fund?
Uh, I would love to yield to Lonnie Sabu, the expert on it. I would say it definitely impacts it, what the situation is, and I think we would have to look at those on a case by case basis. But I would say it doesn't 100% exclude you, but it definitely impacts the packaging of where we're at.
So Maurice, I would second that I think you hit the nail on the head with that answer. because the situation they have to really go through the whole process of completing all the information that's necessary for us to be able to move it forward and understand exactly what happened in the situation with the business prior to them coming to us.
Excellent. Mr. Lonnie, thank you so much for that. Here's another really interesting question, you all. Someone is asking if they have multiple businesses, can they apply for each business separately?
Maurice, I would normally say it's one at a time.
Yeah. Because so we're working with a, we $2.5 million is a lot of money, but we want to make sure that we are working with as many. We want to have a widespread impact on the. It's not just to be a loan fund. The goal is to impact as many businesses as people as possible.
All right. Lonnie and Maurice, here is another one that just came. And this one is from a startup business that has not gotten any revenue as of yet. Would they be eligible? And can you elaborate on startups a little bit more?
So when you say startups, I would say the business has to have been in operation for at least 2 years. And the reason for that is we want to make sure that we have the best chance possible to evaluate the business and its performance. These are our taxpayer dollars, and so we want to be responsible stewards of the funding. And so we have a fiduciary duty to make sure that we're working with companies that we feel confident, at least have a track record of operation, and we have an idea to be able to predict how they're going to be able to do in the future. And so we do have that 2 year requirement of operations, and definitely, and so as a result, aren't working with startups.
So Maurice, here is a personal or question from one of our certified public accountants that's on. Bradford Jackson, thank you for joining us, Bradford, is asking, he says that personal financial statements are they required for all owners or just the material owners?
Lonnie, you want to take that one?
Yeah. No, normally, in terms of our programs that are actually funded through the municipalities like the county, the city, anybody that's a owner of the corporation that has 20% or more ownership is required to guarantee the loans.
What is that one?
Right.
So
Now,
basically, anyone with over, so material owner. So anybody with over 20% ownership.
Right. 20% or more. Right.
Yes.
Thanks, Lonnie. So Tina Boyd is actually asking the question, does your business have to be registered with the Georgia Secretary of State, or could it be registered in another state?
The question is, if a business is registered in another state but has a business license in DeKalb?
I think, does your business have to be registered with Georgia Secretary of State, or could it be registered in another state? So yes. It sounds as if Tina, I think what Tina is asking, she's registered. Does she have to also be registered with Georgia Secretary of State?
She has to have a business license in DeKalb. So either a business license in DeKalb or one of the municipalities that are in DeKalb. She has to have a specific license for that. I guess answering directly, does the business have to be registered with the Georgia Secretary of State? I would imagine the answer is yes. Even if it's registered as a foreign entity, that the business would have to, in some way, be registered with the state of Georgia as well.
Maurice, this is from, I think, a day, Marta. They are asking if an e-commerce has the opportunity to, an e-commerce, I guess, platform or an e-commerce business, does it have the opportunity to apply for the loan?
If that business has a commercial location.
All right.
So not if it's home based. If it's home based, it wouldn't be eligible for this particular fund. But if it is an e-commerce business with a commercial address, a commercial lease, then yes.
All right, so we have DeKalb Community TV asking another tax question, and they are asking, what if a business is currently filing or amending the current year's tax return for 2025? Can you add a little bit more light on that question?
I would say, same as earlier, similar to earlier. Yes, they can definitely apply. Um, and we'll just kind of look at the situation and work with them on that.
So I think this is a follow-up to the question regarding e-commerce. Denithia Moore is asking is a virtual business considered a home-based business? And I think you were saying yes.
If they have a commercial location, then they are not considered a home base. If they do not have a commercial address for the business, then it would be considered. If they have a commercial address, then it will be considered a commercial business, but they have to have a commercial location.
Commercial location. Alicia's actually asking, if a shared kitchen, so in a shared kitchen location, one of those co-shared spaces for kitchens, is that considered a physical location? Would it apply for the loan? I'm sorry, would it be eligible to apply for the loan?
I would say yes. Alani, you want to?
Yeah, I think as long as the physical location is in DeKalb County.
Well, gentlemen, I think that we have pretty much gone through everything. However, I do recommend that we include your information or an email where people can contact directly if maybe their question was not answered. There were some really, really good things that people were chatting about in the they were chatting about in the chat. So Maurice, do you want to reiterate your or the email address that people can contact outsourced CFOs directly?
Yeah, so it's info@businessindecab.com. I would also, the direct email is info@businessindecab.com.
Okay.
I would also encourage you to complete the questionnaire so that we have your information uploaded to our database, and we can, enter to our CRM as well. So we'll have that information. We can begin that two-way communication once that's been uploaded into our portal for the questionnaire. So you can email us directly at info@businessindecab.com, or you can complete the questionnaire and we will be in contact with you.
Really good conversation here. Really great information being shared. If anybody, I think that we've got 15 minutes, so I think we're going to give back to 20 minutes that we're going to give back to people. But I strongly do suggest that one, you either reach out directly to Maurice and Lonnie, or I suggest that, please explore the Decide to Capital website, get all of that really good information. If for whatever reason you need to, reach back out again to Lonnie and or Maurice, they are going to be very quick to respond and give you all the information that you need. So, and of course, the good people here at Decide to Cab are also on hand and stand by if you need anything. And I think Shay, I'll just leave us with on this final question. Shay says, can this loan be used to refinance MCA debts?
You want to tackle that one, Lonnie?
To refinance debts, I think, I think that's going to be somewhat of a challenge in terms of refinancing debt, because normally that means there's some other issues on the back end that's happening with that particular company. And so, normally it would not, and there might be some exceptions here and there, but I think number one, it would depend on the amount of money that the person needs to refinance on. And that category will fall under working capital. So normally from projects I've seen, historically speaking, if anybody's trying to refinance existing debt, they've got some other issues going on with that business. There's some other things deeper than just the fact that they want to refinance. They want to refinance because something is going on that. And so normally it's much more of a challenge to do that. But it can be looked at on a case by case basis. But I think some additional clarity would be necessary to see if that's something that even can make sense in terms of them wanting to refinance existing debt, and they actually using debt. Although our rate's low, 5%, it's still debt. So sometimes it speaks to the situation that the person might be in a situation where, you know, they got some cash flow things going on internally in the business that have to be looked at. Normally, it would not be a situation where you could take money from this program to refinance existing debt.
I think Lonnie gave a phenomenal answer. I would still say, hey, fill out the questionnaire, and we at least want to point you to the in the right direction for help. And that may be somebody on our team, or it may be one of our partners. But I've been a small business owner myself for almost 20 years now, and so I've seen a lot of companies that have issues, and the MCA loans can be somewhat debilitating, personally, mentally, and emotionally, and financially. And so I would say, hey, let's fill out the questionnaire, and at least let's have a conversation, and we can try to get you pointed to the right direction, because I want to make sure that companies that need help, that are in situations that are like that, can be helped out.
I said that was going to be the last question, Maurice and Lenny, but I think this is a really good one that came in. It basically, and Jeffrey, I see that you just answered, Miss Laquilla. So I'll just say this, Lonnie and Maurice, Laquilla Donaldson was asking, she says that she has a property. Her business is located in DeKalb County, but business is officially registered with an Atlanta address. And will that be an issue? And I think, of course, we know that portions of the city of Atlanta do fall in DeKalb County. So I'm going to let you answer that, though, Maurice. Why don't you take that one?
I would say that would not be a problem, because when I worked for another company, East Atlanta, for example, was in the city of Atlanta, is in the city of Atlanta, but it also fell within the guidelines of DeKalb County. So that's not that situation would not be a problem as long as the company is located physically in DeKalb County. We can still work in it. That's just that company.
All right, everybody. I said I was going to give you 20 minutes, but
Sorry. The other thing I'd say is where's your business license? Like, where do you have a business license? So if your license is in DeKalb County, then yes, absolutely.
all right, everyone. Well, instead of 20 minutes, I think it is more like 15 that we're going to be able to give people back to their day. Very, very good conversation. We know that more is coming. This, at one point we were up to 88, 89 people, which really does speak, I think, to people wanting this information. So Maurice, Lonnie, Jeffrey from Decide DeKalb, I think this was a really, really good opportunity to connect with some of our residents, some folks that were gathering information. But we are going to be sharing the deck. We're going to be sharing the recording, and then we're also going to be following up with everyone on that website information of where you can start the process as soon as we can download and get the links and everything buttoned up and ready for you all. So please check your email, but we do anticipate getting that information over to you by end of day today. So yeah, please be on the lookout. Thank you so much for joining us. And I think, Maurice, if you want to shut us down and close us out, good job, everybody. Thanks for joining us again.
Yeah. I think everyone's done a phenomenal job. I'm very appreciative for the turnout and the people that have showed up. You've phenomenal questions, phenomenal, just thought that's gone into it. I commend everyone for showing up, for taking steps to improve and grow their business. And we're here to help. And this has been awesome for us. So thank you. I am going to end it.